What's going on, everybody? I am Winston A. Marshall, aka the Swaggy Blerd, joined again with Matt Thomas from Who Are They Real Entertainment Media. We are here to do the episode 9, season 4 review of Atlanta. This one called Andrew Wyeth, Alfred's World. Yeah. So, just off the bat, again, if you're not aware, you should know this. Spoiler alert, we're going to go through the full episode, talk about some of the themes, what we're thinking about it, what's going on here and whatnot. So if you haven't had a chance to watch the episode and you want to, you might want to go do that first. Come on back. We'll be here waiting, chilling for y'all. But just out the gate, Matt, man, what are you feeling off of this episode? Because we came in with like a straight grand slam with the goof who stood by the door. So to come back to reality with Paperboy, man, with Alfred, what are you feeling?
Like a good nigga.
Like a good nigga. Safe harbor there. When I tell you, I was like, when we started the woods, bro, I was like, okay, all right, the woods. It is what it is. Right. It's fine. But I was like, where are we going with this? I was like, are we gonna have another one of these same episodes that we had with Ern and Zazie? And then all of a sudden, I was like, okay, it's not just Paperboy shooting in the wood. That looks like a farm. This nigga bought a safe farm.
I was watching it in the morning, and I was like, he really got a goddamn safe farm.
He really got a safe farm, bro. The herd soldier boy.
And the fact that I didn't wake up from a text from you saying, "Did you see that?" I'm like, "Oh, he hasn't seen this yet."
So I'm a little under the weather right now. So I took my time this morning, like getting up and doing shit. I was just like, I'm not really vibing on life right now, and I was like, I want to watch this when I'm in a good headspace, and not groggy. So once I finally sat down and watched it, I was like, this nigga got a safe farm, and he out here growing weed in his safe farm, bro. Woo. And we're gonna dive in right now, but the number of times I thought this was gonna end with Paperboy dying, just like that we were going to that was gonna be the end of his story. Is the last episode is his fucking funeral,
bro? Like Rue has been talking about when he's come on the show that this past season and this current season were horror influenced. And you really saw that today. Like I was
absolutely.
I was like, all right, we officially in a horror film because,
bro, those were two the starting point of him being like, who the fuck is breaking into my farm? Quit all that banging. You know what I mean? So as we mentioned, we start in the forest. Paperboy's got he's got a bunch of different guns. He's got his gats, but he's got what looks like a little mini AK.
Yeah,
it looked like an AK-74 because the 47 is that big ass motherfucker, but it looks like he had the 74, the compact. Yeah. But he's out here shooting targets on trees with his Gucci slides on, bro. That's what kills me. He's got his Gucci slides on with the noise canceling because it's the machine, the automatic weapon, bro.
Ignoring motherfuckers' calls because here's Ern calling him. He looks right at it. And then push the damn headphones on. It's just like, wow.
And I get it, but you know what really worried me about this? Are you a Black Mirror fan?
Nah, never watched an episode.
What, bro? I know. I feel like every episode, I'm like, you gotta check. You need to go watch Black Mirror. It is some of the best filmmaking I have ever seen. Honestly, like, and because it's an anthology of essentially short films. They're like hour long of different stuff. There's an episode called
it's like the BBC Sherlock series. Yes,
it is the easiest way to describe it is it's the Twilight Zone but with technology.
Yeah, I'm just talking about like it's BBC Sherlock series. It's its own anthology.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen it, so I didn't know that.
Yeah, like each episode is essentially an hour to an hour and a half movie.
Okay, I respect it. Well, the reason I bring that up is we just watched the episode. I don't know why I can't remember the name, but it's this white dude goes on like a European backpacking trip and he runs out of money. So this girl that he hooks up with goes, there's this gaming company here that's working on some like a new VR. You should try it out. and I won't spoil what ends up happening, but he goes to like be a part of the experiment. But the one running thing the whole time is he keeps getting phone calls from his mom and he keeps screening the calls. So I got an immediate bad vibe because he goes through some shit. Again, not going to ruin it. I got a bad vibe about this where I'm like, bro, if you keep screening Ern's calls and you're in the middle of nowhere, like, nigga, I'm worried this nigga's going to die. And I didn't know where the trouble was going to come from because he starts off shooting the AK. He's checking out his weed. He gets into his cabin and he hears a banging and he's like, what the fuck is that? And he goes outside. Hey, you better bring your ass out here before you get lit up. And he sees that there was I jumped ahead. There was a small hole. Ahead. I jumped way ahead. There was a small hole on his grow house.
Yes.
So he went to the hardware store. So both trips to the hardware store are funny. And this is where I thought the danger was coming from the first time. Because
this was like She-Hulk was in
rednecks. You ain't shit. Because the clerk was super white and country, had like a sign in the back
with
that paperboy saw that said, "We don't call the police," meaning I will shoot your ass. And he had a Confederate flag.
I was like, he about to get. I thought. Because in that first interaction, he asked, "What are you growing?" And Paperboy is just like,
"No, you jumped ahead now too."
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because
he's asking for the pan and shit.
First time he goes, "Do you have skillets?" And he goes, "If you don't see it out there, then I can check, but we're probably out of stock." And he goes, "All right, what about animal repellent?" And he's like, "Do you see it? Because otherwise, I don't have it." And then he goes, "Well, I can order it for you." He goes, "Nah, I'll just get it somewhere else." And the dude gets pissy and he goes,
like Amazon.
You're just gonna order it off of Amazon, aren't you?
Yeah, he did say they had he did say he had animal repellent, but it was the skillet he said he didn't have.
I thought he said he didn't have either.
So he looked for both. He did end up having animal repellent, and he said that you can get it here.
All right.
The skillet is the piece. He's like, yeah, that you're gonna have to. I can order it, but it's gonna be 2 weeks. And I said, I was like, 2 weeks.
I know. I'm surprised he doesn't then order from Amazon and then just sell it to him. But either way, one of the things that we noticed on the way to the store is that Paperboy walks by his old tractor that was covered in overgrowth. So he returns to the tractor and he decides he's gonna, because he also bought like some oil and stuff. He's gonna see if he can get it to work. And he's watching a YouTube channel called "These Back Hoes Ain't Loyal." I'm fucking dying, bro. And this white boy's telling him how to fix the tractor, but he warned. He goes, "Make sure you have them wheels secure, because that's actually how I lost 2 uncles. They got crushed because them wheels weren't secure. Roll back on them, just crush them." And he's kind of laughing at first. He goes, "Oh shit!" And he like gets up real quick and kind of scared. He laughs again, be like, "Oh, I got out of it." And then that shit said, "Da-doom." He goes, "Oh fuck!" Like just at the top of his lungs.
Didn't even fully collapse, just shook a little bit, and he was.
But that's what I'm saying. There's so many hints that he was going to die today. That was the thing that was like going on and on and on.
This episode just besides the sniper episode, there's 2 things black people don't do. They don't farm no more, and they don't camp. And 2, the last
in both cases, I thought that was gonna be it, bro. I thought that was it.
The last 2 episodes featuring our cast, they went camping and worked on a farm. And one's got his own farm. I'm just like,
yep. But you're right. So this is where the banging happens. So he's back after commercial. He's back doing dishes. He hears something. He turns his music off, grabs his AK and the light, and he realizes something has broken into his grow house and has destroyed his wheat.
Now that small
smashed
hole
everything.
Just completely
smashed the whole door and then destroyed a bunch of the plants. He also steps in some shit while he does it. So he goes back to the hardware store. He talks to the clerk, and the clerk goes, "You got feral hogs."
It's funny. He's like, "Can I see the scat again, just so I can make sure?"
That's dry and crumbly in your hand, or was it wet? He's like, Can we stop talking about shit and you tell me what the fuck's going on?
But this is where he's like, "What do you got going on?"
That's what he's saying. He goes, "What? These are feral hogs." And he goes, "What are you growing?" And he just looks at me and goes, "Corn."
Yep, that'll do it.
So then he tells him, the way you got to do is you got to trap it. So lay out your corn,
and then kill
and then just gun him down. Just take your gun and just keep putting bullets into him until he slows down, and then give him a headshot. And Paperboy just starts laughing, and he goes, "Nah, man, if
dead
he's
serious,
you need to kill it before they kill you." And again, Paperboy's laughing, and I'm like, "Bro, you better stop laughing. This shit ain't gonna go well." And then he even tells me about a story about a woman in Texas who got killed by one,
and
and
he
Paperboy
laughs
laughs
it
even
off
more.
too.
And he goes, "A bedtime story animal," because that's what he says. He's like, "This ain't no bedtime story animal. This will kill you." It's like a bedtime story animal. So he's working on the tractor again. He still can't get it to work. He opens the exhaust pipe, and there's a dead rat in there that he reluctantly pulls out, bro. And I'm just like, all the stuff that he's been around has been dying. The weed was dying. The fucking tractor died and like kept showing like it was going to kill it. Like, I am so scared where he's going to get killed from this shit, bro. I'm sure that he's going to die. So now he installed the metal plate on the grow house, and he put out the trap with like the guy said, but he notices his porch light is flickering. I'm like, oh God, did the clerk come to murder him? Is the power about to go out? He's about to get stabbed, bro.
Yeah, I was like, that clerk didn't seriously buy that corn story, right? He knows there's something more valuable than corn there.
I literally did not know where the danger was going to come from this entire time. So while shit was funny, I was just like, oh man, Halloween did just pass. Maybe this is their Halloween episode and shit. So he falls asleep watching Bear Grylls, but he hears some squealing outside, and he rushes out with his gun to see it. And the cart got destroyed, and the weed got eaten up. And he's just like, God damn it, this is fucking bullshit. So he's back working on the trailer again. He finally gets it going. He's celebrating by driving around, listening to some old gangster rap, bro. Like, he's just vibing his shit. But then eventually, on this little hill, he ends up kind of going off it, and his tire gets stuck.
Yeah.
And so he kind of climbs down to the lower part of the hill and tries to push it up, but obviously the tractor's too heavy. That's when he kind of gives up. All of a sudden,
turns around,
he sees that shit go whoop, and he goes, "Oh fuck!" And my nigga started just tucking and rolling down the hill trying to get out of the way. And the last thing we see before commercial, this thing just goes boom, and then it goes black, and we're like, and I was like, so that's how he dies. The backhoes truly ain't loyal, dog. They came back and killed the pimp. Oh my God. But we come back from commercial, man. He's cracked his head open. He's
lips busted,
and
his left foot
is trapped under.
It's 127 hours.
I literally went there and I was like, fuck.
He's gonna have to cut off his foot.
He got nothing to cut it with. And I'm out here thinking to myself, I was like, this nigga should have called Earn. Like, fuck, if he had been in contact with his people at the very least, man, then maybe they know. Oh, dude, I got so scared. So he forces his foot out, and he has sliced it up pretty bad.
And he rips the shoe in the process. Like, that shoe ain't even salvageable.
Yep. So his foot is fucked. And so he literally has to crawl. He tries to walk for a while. He's hobbling. And eventually he is crawling all the way back home. And the thing that we saw before the tractor tilt, he is on the opposite side of the lake.
Yep.
So he damn sure can't get in the water, even though it's the shortest route, because that'll get infected real quick. So we
don't know what's in that water either.
That too. So he has to go all the way the fuck around. And so he's like walking, then he's crawling. It's getting darker and darker.
And as he's crawling, he sees that Amazon truck.
Well, he sees he's almost to his house, and he sees that Amazon truck pull up. He goes, for the love of God, play!" Like, he is screaming, but she's doing what every one of us does, man. You got your headphones in when you work, you just vibing and shit. You're not pressed about
taking
your job.
That picture to show that it's delivered. Like, all right, cool, delivered.
Yep. Oh, dude, the only thing that would have been funnier is if, like, again, knowing that they can kind of go back and drop stuff into post real quick, if they'd come back and replace her song with like that new Taylor Swift song, Antihero or whatever.
Oh, God.
Hi, it's me. The problem is, like, how funny would that have been if, like, she could have been right there to save his ass, and she's out here singing about not being able to save it away. Oh man. So he crawls. He gets there eventually on his own, and he opens up the Amazon package to see it's the cast iron skillet. He just tosses it to the side. But then he hears the pig. Hears the long haul, and he's just like, fuck. So the feral hog charges him, and he stands up, and he's wrestling the fuck out of him. So he's getting his ass whooped.
It seemed like he was. It sounded like for a second there he got stabbed by a tusk. I was like,
it looks like he got charged with a tusk. I thought that was it. Again, I thought this was over, but he's able to very carefully grab, or like with a lot of effort, he grabs the cast iron and bashes it to fucking death, bro. Just like beats the hell out of it.
I was just like, and eventually the feral hog's on top of him. And he just keeps smacking and smacking.
It's over, because that would have been it, bro. That hog would have ate him. That would have been bad. So at that point, his phone is ringing in the house, and he hears it. So he crawls a little bit more, and he gets to the phone, and it's Ern, and he's like, "Hey man, how you doing?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." He's like, "Hey, I got these contract questions with the dates and blah blah blah, but the lawyer says it's good." He's like, "Yeah, okay." He's like, "You sound tired." He's like, "Yeah, I am. I'll call you tomorrow, bro. But it's just boring out here. I gotta go." So he hangs up, and I'm like, "Is this nigga gonna die on the floor?" But we come back from our last commercial break. He throws some bacon in the pan. I was like, "My nigga went and skinned the pig, bro." I thought he went and turned that pig to bacon.
Nah. But I was just like, part of me did too, and I'm thinking to myself, nah, that's just like the joke of it all, of how dark it is. I just killed this pig, and now I'm gonna eat bacon.
Bacon and whiskey, bro. Breakfast of champions. So he turns out he had the bacon, the thick cut bacon, and he was making it. And then he ends up FaceTiming Ern, and Ern warns him, he's talking. He's like, "Bro, what the fuck happened to you? You all right?" And he's like, "Yeah, man. It's kind of wild out here. Like, got my shit fucked up." And he's like, "Bro, I know that's your safe farm, but if you like fall on a rake head first, no one will know for weeks. All right, farms are dangerous as fuck. There's a reason why niggas aren't on farms anymore." You know what I'm saying? So at the end of this, we're kind of like, all right, it looks like Paperboy's okay. He's got his leg up with some ice. He's got a cane. He's eating his bacon, drinking his whiskey. He's bandaged up. But he's talking about the last thing that's bothering him is he's just like, "Yeah, man, my neck though has been on pins and needles." And Ern goes, "Nigga, were you out all day?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "You're sunburned." He goes, "Man, niggas can't sunburn."
Yep.
Bro, when I tell you that I was Paperboy at one point where I thought that we could not sunburn.
I had my first sunburn this summer, Winston, when I went to Florida. My fiance saved me because there's this hair product that her salon uses that it's primarily based on aloe, and they all her bosses told her like you can use that instead of sunscreen, and like so when I'm like, why is I just feel like it's ton of. She put that shit on my shoulders and back so fast. I was like, I feel so much better. Like,
dude, it's so the worst that I've been sunburned maybe 3 or 4 times in my life, but the worst I ever got I got sunburned because I was in a pool all day right here. I burned the side of my eyes. So as I would blink, it would hurt. When it would hurt, I would tear up just a little bit just because of the way that it was near my eyes. And then the salt water would get in there and then that would burn it. It was this endless cycle of just like hell. Just fresh fucking hell, man. So they start joking. He's like, "Hey, man, you trying to tell me Wesley Snipes' black ass could get sunburned?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "You trying to tell me that Christopher Rose nigga could get sunburned?" He's like,
"Seal? Yes."
He goes, "You trying to tell me that I am the captain now, nigga could get?" He's like, "You mean the Somalian pirate from Captain Phillips? Yes, he can also sunburn like Al. Like, come on, bro." So we just get this fun little moment of the two cousins, man, just kind of laughing and talking shit as they have the entirety of the series. And you get another feeling of just like, as this is the second to last episode, that everybody's going to be all right. Like, they're going to deal with some wild shit, but like even Al in this kind of failed experiment of the safe farm, which isn't a full failure. It just did not go well from what we saw the moment we're here. It sounds like he's going to be okay. Even he doesn't need anybody's help anymore. And like, he'll still have people like Ern and Darius there for him, but he's good. He will make it. Obviously he's made it as a successful rapper, but you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have to have the crew.
Like this was also a payoff to the entire series and as a whole, because Al is kind of hinted at in the past that he'd be okay going off the grid and just living elsewhere. And so having him learn about safe farms and then getting his own safe farm, growing his weed, just okay with not having to deal with a goddamn soul besides the store clerk.
Bro, what's wild to me is to think that a goofy ass episode about the Crank That Killer with a cameo from fucking Soldier Boy would get Al go buy a fucking safe farm and genuinely go off the grid. Like, that is insane.
Right.
And that just goes to speak at how thought out this writer team has always been, even with full seasons, that you have these types of callbacks like this. And the fact that we straight up were like, this nigga bought a safe farm at the start of the episode. That's fucking, and then got our validation at the end of the episode. Be like, I know you got your safe farm there, dude, but those shit's dangerous. Be careful. Like, damn.
So, like, and that was funny because at first you're like, he's just going off shooting in the woods somewhere in Atlanta because Georgia is a state. And then when you go, you're like, he did it.
Yeah.
He actually fucking did it.
Yeah. So either way, man, what would you rate this out of 5, man? Where you feeling?
I'm at a 4. I'm at a 4, honestly. It wasn't my favorite. I think part of my thing is knowing that this is the second to last episode. It's nice to know Al's gonna be all right. But I would have liked to see a little bit more of a build up towards that finale. I know this isn't the typical television format, like, and that's always been part of Atlanta's charm, that it isn't the typical television format. But like, I remember when that first trailer for season 4 came out and they're walking out of that convenience store and you're seeing some of the things from season 1 and 2, like the blazing guy who was big on Insta, or the invisible car. I'm like, are we going to be revisiting this stuff? And it's come to the realization, no, we're not, and that's fine. They're still telling amazing stories, but I'm missing it, and I thought this would have been the episode to give us that.
I understand that. I think they gave us a little taste of all of that in like the opening mall treasure hunt episode, in the Crank That Killer episode, in even Zazie being on the studio lot. Like, I mean, we got tastes of stuff, but I agree with you. I would have liked I like that we're wrapping it up.
Yeah.
But I would have liked to have some more of that older element to kind of feel like even more kind of in touch, I guess, with
the original 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Because like this is, granted, you and I have both been on record. We loved how the show has evolved. But typically when a show is wrapping up, those last 2 episodes are like giving you your taste of just your member berries, and we're out. Peace. That's what those last 2 episodes are.
Absolutely. And a big wrap on whatever, not just the member berries, but also a big wrap up of whatever your overall storyline is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think back to like Insecure, for example, and it's kind of this idea of same thing. The girls are going to be all right, that Molly and Issa can go their separate ways, that the whole foursome can go their separate ways, and they found their families or their jobs or whatever it is that they were fulfilled to do. And you kind of wrap that. I'm glad that we know that Ern and Van are going to go. Right. They're going to go to LA and they're going to be good. What's the baby's name? Oh my goodness.
Lottie.
Lottie. Thank you.
Not a baby anymore. Not a baby.
She's a grown-ass woman. She's paying taxes, bro. So she may be 6, but her mentality, the way she be talking to her parents, she's been like paying the IRS for a while. No. She's like 26, bro. She's 36. She's been paying the IRS for a minute, and she's tired of that shit. So, we kind of got a
character we don't really know right now. Yeah, we've had what, 2 episodes with Darius. The first and the Crank That Killer. And that's been it.
He was in the second because he was at the end of the pettiness. They all met up with him.
But because that's so just quick, I don't even like it's an official appearance, but I'm not counting that.
No, I get that. Yeah, he's been the one we've seen the least amount this season.
And it kind of it just hit me because I'm like, damn, because Darius was always, especially, and this is going back to what we just talked about. You normally get more of a taste of when shows are going out, what the original few seasons were like. Darius was the charm, like the standout
he was a
comedian.
weirdo. Well, because he was the weirdo, yeah.
And now they're more
well,
utilizing weirder situations and
no, I agree with you. I mean, we still got a taste of that in the sense of him with like in the episode at the beginning where he's getting chased.
Yeah.
The fact that he's just like, get out my way, crazy ass white lady. And then, like, other than that, the fact he's like, I mean, we should do the kiss. I want the shoes.
Right.
Like, that's the most Darius ass answer I've ever heard. Or him trying to dance to the fucking music. He's like, I can't really dance to it. It's more noise than music.
Tastes are nice, but I guess once again, this goes back to we know this is the final season,
right?
So like you love it for what it is because it is still great television, some of the best television in the last 10 to 20 years.
Right.
It's just at the end of the day, you're still because we didn't even get a ton of Darius last. Granted, we didn't get a ton of it of anyone last season, but like we had him at let's see, the tree, Paperboy's phone being stolen, that weird killing or funeral saying the goodbye in Amsterdam when they suffocate. Bro, you know,
I don't remember.
It's when he and Van were riding in that van, and they ended up at this house with this white family, and they were saying goodbye to this. Everyone was saying goodbye to this one person.
I don't remember,
bro. It was one of the.
Rewatch it.
I think it's like episode 2 or 3, but like, like they literally see someone get suffocated, and you just like, what? But like,
yeah. No, I agree with you. Man. I in the sense that I need to revisit it because I don't remember. I genuinely don't. I don't remember any of that, and so I need to go back and watch it again and see what you're talking about because you've completely lost me. I remember the final episode of last season with fucking Van acting fucking French.
Second episode. It was
dude.
The second episode.
The stuff that stuck to my ribs from last season wasn't actually them in Amsterdam. Really, it was more. I mean, that chicken, the billionaire that had the chicken place in his place was funny. Yes. But it was for me. It was all the white people back in Atlanta. That shit was so funny.
Funny enough, the picture of this episode on IMDb. I'm going to share the screen real quick.
Yeah.
Is the area I'm talking about? So
I don't remember this at all,
bro. Like he and Van are just like hanging out, and Ern's taking care of Paperboy's demands and wanted to skip that concert.
He wanted to skip the concert, yeah, but that's the problem. I think I
remember. You remember the Paperboy Ern
storyline. I don't remember the B. Yeah,
Ern and Paperboy were arguably the B storyline in that episode.
Maybe I'll go back and rewatch it, man. I'll rewatch it. I will. But if I had to rate this one, I give it like a 3.5. It's not bad. It's not good. I mean, it's good. It's good. This whole season has been.
Yes.
But considering some of the stuff that we've had, it didn't really blow me away. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good on it. And like you said, I think if we this wasn't the second to last episode, then I would be more inclined. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
To give it a little bit higher. But knowing this is almost the end, I wanted a little bit more. But it's good to know again that Al will be fine. But we want to know what you think, y'all. So if you haven't already, be sure to leave a comment. Tell us what you think about this second to last episode, the penultimate episode, if you will, of Atlanta. What you thought about Tyree Henry's 127 hours / the Beast / whatever scary ass movie where a black dude is worried that the old Confederate white store clerk's going to murder his ass. Tell us what you thought about this episode, man. And be sure to follow here. Got the final review coming of this. I've also got my Black Panther Wakanda Forever review coming out next week.
Tuesday at 12 at 9 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific for you.
I'll have a non-spoiler review on Tuesday on my channel here, and then I'll do a spoiler review probably on Saturday or Sunday of next week, once we can talk about it more fully. But I'll also be talking about it on Capes and Cows over with Christian Harloff. So you don't want to miss all of that. So again, follow me everywhere. Swaggy, Blerd, TikTok, all that good stuff. Got some funny stuff with the Law & Order Sports Victim Unit series. That's been a lot of fun. Matt, tell them what you got going on, brother.
Just like this man over to my right, I have a Wakanda Forever review dropping Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. He got to see it already, though. I got to wait till Monday to see that. You get to actually take the time to do your review and craft it out well. I got to do a quick turnaround on that shit.
Well, I mean, mine's going to be pretty quick, too, because I haven't recorded it yet.
My point is, you can record it this weekend and do all this stuff with.
No. I won't, though, because I want it fresh. So I'm going to have to do the same thing because
you have a second screening of it. You have that screening on Monday. Okay.
Right. I have another screening to go to. So I'm going to see it again on Monday. But I digress. Please continue.
A lot of stuff behind the scenes right now going on over at What Real Entertainment. Got some things cooking up that I'm not going to speak on just quite yet, but yeah, I'm excited for what's going on, and hopefully when things do happen, you guys will be over there watching with us and maybe have this ugly motherfucker to my right on.
Hey, watch your mouth, ho. You watch your motherfucking mouth, son.
I mean, if you didn't shave, I might compliment you, but your ass shaved.
Yeah, man. You know. The 5 o'clock shadow looks good. It's when it's lower than this that it's not great.
Looking like Tom Washington and shit.
Shut your ass up. Look, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm gonna mute this nigga real quick. Get him out of here. Thank you so much for watching this video. Appreciate y'all. So once again, if you haven't already, leave a like. Leave a comment. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we will see you for the final episode of Atlanta next time, y'all. Peace.